Welcome to GOLT Talk, your podcast for technology and innovation in the legal profession. If you're searching for solutions to revolutionize your legal practice, you're in the right place. 10 minutes pure, actionable product insights from CEOs shaping the future of legal technology. And here is your host, Tom Pfennig.
Welcome to GOLT Talk, your podcast for innovation and technology in the legal and compliance space. My name is Tom. I'm your host today. Pure, actionable insights from CEOs shaping the future of legal and compliance technology. Today, I welcome Alex Hagan, CEO of ReviewPoint, based in beautiful Sausalito, California. Great having you on the call, Alex.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
Awesome. Hey, we have a bit of a novelty here, as you are not a pure play legal tech company. However, in my view, equally important for legal and compliance professionals, and we are talking about why. I met your colleagues at the Legal Week in New York a few weeks ago, so you are definitely within scope of the GOLT Talk. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the company, please, and we dive right in.
Absolutely. So I'm Alex Hagan. I'm the CEO of ReviewPoint. And what we are is a full service. We have SaaS, but is a software solution, but we're a full service marketing agency. So we help firms grow their business by improving their online reputation and also their local visibility. You know, so many legal professionals rely on word of mouth. And in today's world, it's all about Google reviews, Google search, how you're showing up online, the web experience, all those things. So whether you're looking to attract new clients or convert clients better or enter a new market, that's really what we're here for.
Or if you want to promote your proprietary legal tech tools, which I understand some law firms have developed for their own use and are now rolling this out into their respective world. So that's another potential use case for the ReviewPoint services. So let's dive into that. What are the use cases? You already alluded to some, and what makes ReviewPoint special? You talked about AI. I'm sure efficiency, speed may play a role here.
Yep, absolutely. So I think really our unique selling point is that we're human-backed automation. So everything that we do is focused on efficiency. And given we're a full-service agency, we take care of everything that a law firm or anything within the legal space around digital marketing that they might need. So this is everything from looking at sort of strategy for go-to-market for marketing, developing websites, AI chatbots, where it's making it efficient for any lead who might be visiting your website. We analyze all the content that's already there, see where there might be some gaps in content, look at questions that leads on your website are already asking and make it so it's an easy FAQ within a chatbot as compared to trying to navigate an entire website. We also make sure the websites are ADA compliant. We do things like social media management, blog content creation that's SEO optimized. Our overall goal with all these different services that we provide, though, is to help you stand out online, convert clients better, and overall grow your business.
And I guess this is not only targeting big law, but also, and maybe even more so, smaller and mid-sized firms that do not have all the marketing budgets and all the tech expertise like the big players in the market.
Exactly. Our typical use case in terms of law firm size would be small to mid-size. So maybe they already have a marketer in-house or a few marketers, or maybe they're doing the marketing themselves, or they've worked with an agency and so on, but really they're struggling with visibility online, or it's inconsistent in terms of efforts. And what we bring to the table is strategy that's consistent and deliverables that are also consistent. So with that leads to growth of the firm. And really, they're looking to grow their law firm, of course, would be the commonality too. So I'd say that would be the target.
Very good, very good. In terms of partners as well as competitors, can you give us a little bit of perspective there as well?
Given we focus so much on search and SEO and how your business is showing up online, I'd say our strongest ally is Google through all the certifications that we get for Google advertising, optimizing, Google ads, and so on. Everything that we do is aligned to help your business show up better on Google. That's really the reality at the end of the day. So I'd say from an ally standpoint, I'd say Google, but then also too, firms use a lot of different CRMs to manage their customers. So on that side of things, we do have a lot of APIs and integrations with our software to help with automating. So I touched on automating earlier. So there are a lot of legal CRMs, and we do custom integrations to help with workflows because we're not wanting to create more work for anyone that we're working with. We want it to be seamless.
What legal CRMs, this is interesting, would you call out here?
Clio is one that comes to mind in terms of really standing out. We had a good conversation with them. And then Logro is another. Others also use HubSpot more on the marketing side of things. So if there are marketers, and then Salesforce is, obviously a big one that applies across many industries.
Very good. Very important. On the competitor side, who would you see in your space?
I'd say our biggest competitor is probably Podium. They focus a lot on reviews and communication as well. I think they lack sort of the legal focus that we focus in on. So they focus on a lot of different industries. So legal is just one of many. I think we've niched down to legal more so than they have. And I also think our human touch, it's not just a software solution that we're offering. We're offering human guidance to all these things that we're implementing. So that's, I think, the other big standout against our competition.
And if I may just ask this, what made you look into legal as a potential vertical within your portfolio? Was there any specific trigger point or any colleague in your team that has an affinity towards our profession?
So overall, I've known a lot of family friends over the years who have run their own firms, attorneys, and started with just kind of helping them out with their marketing. So ReviewPoint, really in the early days, was sort of like, who do I know who needs help with marketing? And so that's where it really started. And I saw sort of consistency around areas that could improve to grow law firms. And I'd say that was really sort of the entry point for me. It was really around website and making sure people have a good web presence around web experience, because that's really beyond looking at reviews, it's what is that website experience? So that's really what led us into legal.
Very interesting. And I think this gives us the opportunity to talk about implementation and maybe specificities or particularities with law firms in particular, compared also to other marketing segments. What is your experience in the rollout of your services? What could be a bottleneck and what could be a catalyst?
Yeah, so I mean, many times on implementation, we can sometimes roll out same day. So this isn't something with ReviewPoint where it takes weeks or months. If we're developing an entire new website, yes, that can take weeks. And a lot of the bottlenecks can come on the back and forth between the client and getting feedback and so on, or getting access to credentials. So I'd say for anyone looking to work with ReviewPoint, I'd make sure you have access to all your software solutions, your admin credentials and so on. But many times we can go as fast as the client can go. That's sort of the reality of how we operate.
And we briefly talked about specific branded marketing campaigns as well, where you would customize the go-to-market approach. Once it's scoped out, what is a typical rollout schedule?
So a rollout schedule after it's scoped is typically 1 to 2 weeks. So we'll end up researching the individual market or what you're trying to achieve if you're launching a product. But if you're a traditional law firm looking to either grow in your existing market, opening up a new firm in a new geo, we'll do research, we'll figure out the keywords, and we'll come up with the overall advertising budget if that's the route you're going, and come up with a strategy. And then within 1 to 2 weeks, we go to market and get going on things.
So let's just stay with the 2+ weeks for the rollout. And how long would you run the campaign?
So typically campaigns on a law firm legal level would go on indefinitely, because the goal would be to always be adding more clients. So that would be the goal. If you have a targeted event or something of those sorts where maybe there's some seasonality or there's an event that you're trying to focus around, typically 2 to 3 months for something like that. But most of the advertising campaigns are ongoing.
Okay. And now on the pricing side, we have a better understanding of the service portfolio now in terms of website building, in terms of marketing and brand building, as well as in terms of individual campaigning. So maybe for these 3 different services, 3 different price points?
Correct. So our primary offering, call it Business App Pro. This is where we bundle a lot of our services together. It's our best value. That starts out at $400 a month per location, given we're working with a lot of multi-location law firms. And overall, that includes the AI chatbot that I touched on. That includes social media management, where every week we're posting content for you on your social media. It also includes 1 post per month on blog content creation, where we're researching what keywords you want to be going after in your market and creating content that then you can also repurpose for social media. As it comes to campaigning and paid advertising strategy, that's a separate budget that would need to be allocated towards if you're going for Google advertising or Meta advertising, so Facebook and Instagram. The monthly ad spend that you'd have to allocate to actually pay Google or Meta would at least be $1,500 per month. That's a pretty entry point budget as it comes to spending on paid advertising. So overall, really to start working with ReviewPoint, it starts out at $400 per month.
And for a branded campaign, or as I said, for a specific legal tech product or a learning asset, also on a 3 to 4 months schedule, what's the average budget you would predict?
So most of that would need to be custom and scoped out because typically a lot of the campaigns are ongoing. However, it would be in line with around what we had just sort of discussed, around the $400 per month. But the budget would need to be something that would need to be reviewed, given it's for a shorter period of time with different efforts. There might be different suggestions around sort of advertising budget and go-to-market strategy surrounding that.
And the cool thing is really with the AI, obviously it's very cost competitive, but also you can review and measure the ROI performance of the campaign, can't you?
Absolutely. Yep. That's one of the best things in terms of overall leveraging AI. It makes everything more efficient. So things are more real time in terms of tracking your conversions, seeing what's working, seeing what's not working, and adapting. And then also we provide weekly reports, and you can also go into the dashboard at any time for our software side of things and see sort of what's happening real time as it comes to your advertising.
Super. Very insightful, very interesting, very novel. Thank you, Alex Hagan, CEO of ReviewPoint in Sausalito, California. Much appreciate the time and hope to meet you in person someday. All the best, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye-bye.